Fans React. I'm Shaun Middleton, and today, after the 2-1 defeat at Coventry last Saturday, it was pretty imperative that Sunderland could get back on track. Alex Snail's Stoke City was the visitors at the Stadium of Light, and unfortunately, it's been a resounding defeat. It's been a heavy defeat for Sunderland. In the 90th minute, I'm outside. It is currently Sunderland 1, Stoke City 5. It's been the worst performance I've seen for a long time. Many years. It's been that bad. It's been really poor. And Sunderland have got exactly what they deserve, and that's nothing. So it's going to be interesting to see what the supporters think at the end of this game. Could you please like, share, and subscribe to our channel? I very much appreciate it. Stay safe and enjoy your night. Take care. Bye for now. SFC Fans React. Kyle, Jesus, where to start with that performance by Sunderland? 5-1 defeat, the biggest defeat, I believe. Michael Bowes, I say, that's since the championship, the last championship times. I think it's got to be. That was a bad defeat.
Unless you count 6-0 off Bolton, 5-1 off Rotherham.
Yeah.
4-0 off Bolton.
It was an absolute
I meant to say. Anyway, Kyle, where did it go wrong this afternoon?
I don't know what happened, but tactics must have just went down the drain.
Do you think it was a tactics by the manager?
I don't know. I just think we just bottled it.
You think it was
from
bottled?
The start, yeah. Ref didn't exactly help us.
It was poor with the referee.
Yeah.
But as I've said to other people, the performance is inexcusable. The performance was really bad.
Awful.
You know, before the start of the season, when Alex Snail went to Stoke, the one game you wanted Sunderland to win at home was this game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the one game you wanted the players to turn up was today, and they just didn't turn up.
Didn't turn up at all. I don't know what's happening with Dan Neil at the minute. There's been a few games, 3 or 4 games, where he's just not up to scratch. You've seen him at the beginning of the season, unbelievable player. He knows what he can do, but today I feel like every time he was on the ball, he was losing it.
Did Tony Mobin throw him under the bus by putting Pritchard next to him? Pritchard's an defensive midfielder. He's not. He's an attacking midfielder.
That's what we were saying. We were saying why
he put it?
Yeah, Dan Neil looked a bit deeper as usual as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think he suits it. He doesn't suit it at all.
I would have went with Mitchell. I mean,
I thought at half time, even though Mitchell wasn't on the pitch when he came on, when he brought the subs on at half time, I didn't expect it to be Gellart who came off for Mitchell.
Yeah.
I thought it would be one of the midfielders.
Yeah.
Something wasn't working in the midfield.
Yeah. Midfield was non-existent, wasn't it? It was all over the place.
And I didn't think we would have brought Gellart off for Mitchell. Or same with Elise. I thought Elise was good, but unless he had a knock for 09. But
yeah, I think it must have been a knock because he didn't really
we did fall apart in the second half.
We couldn't do the basics, fight cuppa.
No, nothing.
Just passing the ball.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? A simple passing there, Kyle. It wasn't there, was it?
Not at all. No.
It's going to really hurt. It's going to hurt this defeat for a long time.
That's the 3 games now, just from the basics. I was at Rotherham. That was hard one to take, to be fair, but it was just their 2 goals exactly the same. And we just.
I was saying to Joanne, my friend, I said to her about a week ago, says, we're going to get a bad run now. I think I've just got a feeling that we're going to get a bad run. I hope we can just somehow halt it, but I hope we just don't go on a really bad run where we lose and lose.
Well, at the beginning of the season, did we expect to be here?
No, we didn't.
I think we have overachieved, however. It's like trying to keep it up.
But we're painting over the cracks.
A little bit, yeah, due to these losses. Yeah.
Not bringing another striker in. I think taking Gellart off at half time. That was a bit silly, wasn't it, Kyle?
These cracks
when you want to try when you want to get back in the game, you need him on the pitch. Even if he hasn't created much, or we haven't created much for him, you've got to keep him on.
I know he's a target man. We haven't got Stuart now, so we've got to start focusing our targets on him. We need to get the ball to him as much as we can, and try and get it like in the back of the net twice at Rotherham, exactly the same. Just more of that. The more times we get the ball to him, the more likely he's going to get it in the net. Yeah, I just don't know.
So what do you think? What do you think was lacking today? The biggest thing lacking today? The midfield.
It was just gone.
There wasn't much fight there. I mean, I see the basic passing and stuff wasn't there, but the fighting commitment, the heads just went, man, didn't it?
Even after the second goal, you would see players shying away from challenges, loose balls, and they didn't want to win it.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand, but I mean, you've got to stay at the end of these games, haven't you?
It's a painful defeat, Carl, isn't it? It's horrible. Just the one game. Was this game against Alex Snail? He'll be laughing his little testicles off now, won't he?
He will be. He can shove it in our faces, won't it? We haven't turned up.
Yeah.
So.
And you could say, well, he's done the right thing by leaving. We always say he did the wrong thing by leaving. But
I don't think he done the right thing by leaving. But he's going to look at this game.
I still stand by that. But I'm just saying he'll think, well, I've done the right thing by leaving.
Even if we, even if we'd won this game, he still said he'd have made the right decision. But Yeah, it's just the money, that's all it is. That's it. You heard the fans
Stoke
singing.
City are now 5 points behind us, and we're sort of, I'm not saying it's a competition between us and them.
They'll overtake us.
I did see it when he went Tony Moper has bad dips in the season as well.
As we've went into this bad patch, they've went into a good patch. So
yeah.
it's just going to work like that, innit?
What we're going to do now, Kyle, get back on the training pitch and get things right for the next game.
I don't know. I think we had a very good, strong, consistent team for a while. But obviously injuries and suspensions, that's all changed everything. But I think we need to just try and get a bit more structure.
Yeah.
We need to try and get it all back together because it's a bit, it's all over the place at the minute.
Yeah.
We're starting different teams. Like we won a good game at Borough.
Yeah.
Obviously Stuart's gone. He's injured now.
Yeah.
09 got the suspension.
Yeah.
And then it's all since Borough. I don't know what's happened. We've all just went a bit.
Our season's it's like it's fizzling right out now,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it is. It's League One all over again, isn't it?
Oh.
Just started really good and it's starting to mellow out at the end.
Yeah.
Just glad we're not
I think you sum the game up, Kyle, in one word.
poor.
Power.
Poor. Shite. It is absolutely awful.
Can we still? I think the top 6 is going to be a bit of a long shot now, but can we still finish the season strong?
Of course we can finish the season strong. Even if you're in the relegation battle at the minute, you can still finish the season strong.
Yeah.
But playoffs, no, I didn't really.
You're not making playoffs yet. You think we can still make
Nah,
it?
I think playoffs are gone.
Yeah.
But
I do. I do.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not going to cry about it.
It's not the end of the world.
5 seasons in League One missing the playoffs. I mean, we can cope missing the playoffs to the Premier League. First season back, try and get a bit of structure next season. We need to get a striker in, another 2 strikers.
Big summer ahead, isn't it?
Gellart was just a bit.
Another, I think, a situation with the away supporters. I believe there was missiles thrown down again, and the club have just announced midweek. The club announced that the away supporters will be staying in the upper tier. I think that's a bad mistake by the owners of the football club.
There was a long pause in the game after one of the goals, and I didn't have a clue what it was for.
Yeah.
But obviously the announcement came on that they're throwing missiles and stuff, but there's nothing we're going to do about it. There's
no netting going up. The way fans are saying that. It seems like the club are just saying, up yours. If somebody throws a glass bottle down on a kid, smashes the head.
Well, look,
happens to a kid. The club's going to let themselves wide. I just don't understand that call.
This all should have been changed when we played Portsmouth a few seasons
ago.
Yeah,
when they were throwing them down, Coventry throwing them down.
People going to hospital.
Yeah.
And they said, we'll take your vapes and your coins off you.
They can do as many searches over here, do as many as they want.
The full of envelopes with vapes and stuff in. They're giving them back when they're leaving the ground.
That's what I'm saying, and they can still get things in.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they haven't just moved them down or put a net up. Even a net.
It would be the logic thing to do, wouldn't it? But it might come down to cost as well, Carl.
Of course it will.
Was there any positives at the game this afternoon, quickly? Any positives at all?
Hard to find one. I thought they relied on time wasting quite a lot. Referee obviously went their way a little bit, but we just didn't turn up on the day. Didn't turn up.
Thanks for your time, pal. Take care, buddy. All right. SFC fans react. Now, what's your name, pal?
Kyle.
Kyle, it's Jesus. That's probably one of the worst performances I've seen for a long time for Sunderland. Where did it go wrong this afternoon?
Sean, like you said, it's a very shit result. First loss I've seen in a while for that bad. But of where it went wrong, probably that first thing when it was offside. And then just afterwards, that Campbell was just a nightmare.
He was, he was.
And Dwight Gale, how he scored was just absolutely shocking.
You think Tony Mobley got the tactics right today?
No, I don't.
Or do you think it was more on the players?
I don't know. I would say it's the type of both, to be honest.
You think a blend of the two?
Yeah, Edouard Michou's been playing well a lot recently, and he's left him on the bench.
Yeah, and he put Pritchard in that position next to Dan Neil, didn't he?
Yeah, he put Pritchard in a deeper role where he needs to be more attacking.
Up, doesn't he?
Clark was invisible again. And taking Gellhart off at half time, it just proves how much we're missing Stuart.
Yeah. What was that about though? You've got one striker.
Yeah, I know.
You try and get back in the game.
Yeah, taking our only striker off at half time for who was it? Can't remember.
09 and
09 and Michou. 09 and Michou came on. 09 and Michou came on for Gellhart and Elise. Elise I understand, but taking our only fit striker off was a bit ridiculous, to be honest. It just proves how much we're missing Ross Stewart.
There wasn't much in that game today. Wasn't any positives out of that game, I thought.
No.
It was a bad performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the positive we got a goal. That was the only positive. But in general, there was no positive in that game, especially since we've got Norwich next as well, and Sheffield United.
Yeah.
It's a bit shit, to be honest, if I'm going to be honest.
And Stoke City only 5 points behind us now. On the tables there.
After that goal, our goal difference is going to be terrible after that. They're only 4 or 5 points behind us now, and it's not looking good.
No, I think is there 11 games left or 12 games left, and it's
11, 12 games, something like that.
I think the playoffs is. Do you think that's gone now?
Yeah, I didn't want us to go up it anyways this season. I want us to stick in this, cement ourselves in this league for a few more, like 2-3 seasons, build up, then push like fully.
Yeah. If you could sum the game in one word,
shit. Absolutely shit.
Yeah. So what do you think we need to do now? Just try and finish the season in the last few games.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, obviously the lads have probably got to get booed, which is very understandable. But what the lads need to do is go back to the academy, train, pick our heads up and continue. Go ahead next up Norwich.
Who's the biggest disappointment today for Sunderland, do you think?
Biggest disappointment?
I put people out there, but I think it was
probably Clark or Diallo, because Diallo's been dipping off. Compare what he's like recently.
Yeah.
I mean, he's strike against Coventry. Fair enough, that was a good one. Yeah. But after that, he's not performing how he does.
Yeah.
Roberts is a bit iffy.
Yeah.
And Clark, he's not performing how he has been.
Yeah.
Like, it just proves how much we're missing Ross Stewart.
Did I ever see it star performer for Sunderland? Was it anybody?
Star performer.
Let's be honest.
I'm going to be honest, there was no one. But if I'm going to choose, fucking probably, I don't know, Roberts done well when he got the ball, and Dan Neil done quite good. Yeah, but in other words, no one.
Thanks for your time, pal.
No one.
Dave, the rave is on SFC Fans React. Dave, massive disappointment.
Why 5-1? I'm a bit down a bit, and we should have had a chance. We should have had a penalty in that by Jack Clark and that. The referee was a stake with Mark and cheated all the time, and so well, loads of chances in that. And Tony Moore with the point like Johnny Moore changing the time and that. Tony Moore be going to have a pint tonight and having a boxing match with Alex Weir tonight. The boxing match with Alex Weir. We're rubbish today, like. The chances.
I think rubbish is an understatement. Dave, where did it go wrong? Do you think this afternoon?
Switched off and not switched off. Switched off. Sloppy.
We could have prevented all them goals.
Loads of chances, and like singing that and singing and the referee was on there singing, cheating.
The referee was cheating.
Cheating. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. There was always referees against us and that way they're going on. They're singing that, so like they want to go on.
And I would Dave. This is the biggest defeat at home, I believe, for
first time when they got big and big because he doesn't let many goals in. I've been in bad, hasn't it?
It was one of the goals. One of the goals. He come out. I don't know what he was doing. He come out his box.
Sloppy goal.
He come out his box, didn't he? There's no need to come out that far.
I keep singing that.
But any positives, Dave, out the game?
Singing that match on man of the match is Jack Clark today of the penalty.
Jack Clark?
Jack Clark and man in match. And Jason Patrick Robertson. and it's a boxing match today, a boxing match with Tony Moore versus Alex O'Neill. Rocky.
Dave, what has Tony Moore got to do now on that
need to change the squad.
Change the squad?
I need to get some stronger players in and that and singing. Give all players a chance.
You think you need to drop a few of them players for the next game?
You next thing get some stronger ones.
Who would you drop, like, Dave?
Some of the one he hasn't played like singing that.
Who would you see? Would you see Dan? Would you see Dan Neil play well today, or do you think he's poor? A bit poor. Defence is wide open. Just saying,
poor and switched off today and that.
What do you think about Alex Neil, Dave?
About him, be having a boxing match tonight. We've had it going in and that. Disappointing, like.
He had the last laugh, didn't he?
They're singing that, so we're singing it. So let's hope we bounce back in Norwich next week.
Happy vibes, Dave. Staying happy.
Staying happy.
Staying happy. What would you say to them players in the changing room now?
My blow sticks having a rave and having a pint of Jaffa cakes tonight.
After the 5-1 defeat, you were.
He was needed to bounce back to win it like that. Pint of magic in the place, let's see. Pint of Jaffa cakes in the place. I'll see you next week, Shane. Okay.
Never, Dave.
I put it on later.
No, I'll be on that one, Dave. Take care. Daniel is on SFC Fans React. Daniel, that's a painful defeat for Sunderland. Alex Neil has the last laugh when he returns to Wayside.
He's probably in the changing room. Talking to them, and probably at half time he probably said, I tell you what, go out there, you've done half the job, go and do the rest and smash them. He's probably in that changing room laughing his head off at us.
Yeah, I mean, somebody made this point earlier on that before I start recording. I've never mentioned this. Who knows them players better than anybody else? Who knows them players better than everybody? Alex Neil. Yeah, he knows the weaknesses. He knows the So you'd see in that game as well what he was trying to do. He was just frustrating us. just taking the good players away like Clark and Roberts and Diallo and players like that. And he was, I think he got it right. But we were poor, weren't we? Our tactics was poor. I think the players are poor.
It wasn't just us. It was the fact that they were diving and time wasting. That's what ruined most of the game. I mean, Tony Mowbray needs to start changing things for a start, because that was shocking.
No, Tony Mowbray, they've got a song out now. You can't turn on Tony Mowbray now. Never turn to do the Tony Mowbray song. I says we'll treat it end in the end with Tony Mowbray.
I'm not turning on him. I just think he needs to start.
Yeah.
I think he
I'm
just
joking.
needs
I'm
to
joking.
change. I just think he needs to change things around a bit, because at the moment, 3 in a row, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not blaming it all on Tony Mowbray.
Do you think Tony Mowbray's a little bit tactically inept? Because I mean, he's got these good young players and you can see go out and play football. But when it comes to a real tactical up there, with a good manager like Alex Neil, he's lost the plot a little bit today, hasn't he?
And
he looked like a little lost puppy at times, Tony Mowbray.
And him putting a central midfielder up front when we've got Lahadley on the bench, and he should have put him up front rather than putting a midfielder up front, because.
Why at half time, when you're trying to get back in the game, do you take Geldart off? What do you think you done that for? Why do you think Tony Mowbray did that?
Well, honestly, I'd agree with him. I would have took him off.
But we haven't got a striker.
I know, but we could have switched Ahmad up front, because he's got plenty of pace
against big physical defenders like Stoke have. You think that's a wise thing to do?
I know our defence was all over the place today. That was awful. It wasn't Patterson's fault. He conceded 5. And one of them goals was his fault.
Aye, one of them was his fault.
Why did he come out so far? There's no need.
He was in no man's land, wasn't he? Aye, he was. I don't know what he was doing with that. I think it was the 4th goal, was it? Or maybe in the 5th. I don't know. I lost the plot when it went to 3-1 and then 4-1. I was...
Well, it was...
Bad day at the office. And bad day at the office.
Hopefully we can start changing things around from this point on and trying to get back up the table, because... I mean, I know it's our first season in the Championship from having plenty of seasons in League One, but
Daniel, this is when you're going to see how good Tony Mowbray is when you suffer a big defeat, a big defeat as well. Them kids are now got average age of 22, 23. I think the squad is. That's going to hurt the kids, them players. You need a good manager now. You'll see how good Tony Mowbray is in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hopefully he can start changing things around, changing the tactics. I've still got belief in him. I think he's still got potential to be a brilliant manager.
He's done better than I expected, but I still think it'll go.
Yeah.
It'll go the way when he first was appointed. I think it'll go the way I think it will, and I'm not sure they'll get rid of him in the summer, and they might look somewhere else. But now he's going to get a bad start next season in the Championship. They'll pull the trigger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Stoke, I wouldn't not being bitter, but they're not a very good side.
Alex Neil hasn't done very much with them, but the fact that they've came here today and produced that shows how bad we played.
Well, exactly, shows you how bad. The one game all season, Danny, when Alex Neil first left, what was that one game you wanted to win at home? Was it when Alex Neil returned?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any positives at the game? Any?
No, not really.
If you could sum the game up in one word?
Hell.
Hell. That's the one. But we can get back on track though, and you believe we can still get in the playoffs. So he's staying positive. Right. Cheers, time, pal.
Right.
Take care, buddy. Have a good night. Cheers. And Darren on SHAFC Fans React. Bit of a painful display this afternoon for Sunderland. Finlay, first of all, where do you think it went wrong for Sunderland?
They only scored 1 goal, and the other team got 5 more than Sunderland.
Yeah, that's a start, aye. Do you think Sunderland played very well?
Yeah.
You thought we played well?
Yeah.
Did you? How do you think played well for Sunderland?
They're not dirty like the others.
Who was your best player for Sunderland today?
I don't know any Sunderland.
There wasn't many. I'll just see if I'll see it. Oh God, yeah. I can't even think of one myself. I'll see you on 09 when he come on. Do you like Luke 09?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can Sunderland still finish in the top 6, or do you think that's gone?
I don't know.
does mean that. What do you think, dear Paul?
I think they need to get a few older players.
Aye, more experience in the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They're
I think.
too
Well,
young, aren't
yeah, I think next season, I think there's going to be a lot of. Well, I hope of recruitment in the summer.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be experience added to that squad because it's too young for me.
they? Yeah, they need at least a couple of players.
Yeah, we need a striker. We need a mid.
Ball down and throw them up and
Yeah,
things like that. You know.
yeah. But
They need to pass more.
we need
They
to
need
pass.
to pass more.
We need to pass more. Do you want to go on that training pitch and tell the players they need to be better, don't they? Finlay, they need to be better. Yeah, disappointing. Look, it was a disappointing display, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of all the games this season, you want us to turn up was the Stoke game, and we just didn't.
No, not
Yeah,
today.
bitter
You
pill.
get caught in them. Got caught all the time passing the ball.
Do you know what? I was the structure of our team today. I mean, just see what Michael says about this, but I felt like we're just all over the place. Just not doing the basics.
Yeah.
Just like 1-2 goals, and then they just all
giving it
buckled.
away easy, weren't they?
Aye. Well, can we get back on track? Yeah.
I do, like, I want to be in the Premier League, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen this season. But you know, we've got to just readdress in the summer, and I think Speakman and Harvey have got to like look where they've maybe not so much. They've had a good recruitment, but they've got to look where they haven't added as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But any star performance for you with Stafford? It wasn't when he was.
To be fair, I think the keeper made a couple of good saves,
But then
the
he
shots-
come out in no man's land,
Yeah,
one of
he
the goals,
did
didn't he, as well?
one of them.
He
I
was
think
too
once he-
far out the box.
Too far out the box.
But
Yeah.
that's a football.
Well, Sunderland till we die, though, aren't we?
Yeah,
Sunderland till we die.
definitely.
That's the way it is. Right, SFC fans react. Michael Bowers, the voice of there's some YouTubers. It's Michael. Of all the days, we just didn't want this performance against Alex Neil, and it happened today. Where did it go wrong, Michael, in your eyes? How do you start?
What a way to start the interview, mate.
10-minute run coming.
I'm going to try and like David said before. I think it was David actually. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
Where he said that it's good. It's potentially. I'm potentially going to say something stupid in the heat at the moment. I've calmed down a little bit now.
Yeah. I'm still in shock. I sort of
I
haven't
think
been.
shock's more my
Aye.
response as well.
So I'm sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe when I go home, I'll start smashing stuff against the wall and this, that, and the other. But
I just kick chairs in the ground. My opinion on Alex Neil still stands, and it will not change because I still believe he had a distinct lack of class and a lack of respect leaving the club.
Oh no, yeah, I
His
agree.
bank
mate.
balance will say otherwise, though. But hey, hope he's done one on us today, and he'll have a great day, I'm sure.
Well, I'll just quickly come to that, but the way he offered, I think, 3 times much improved terms. But somebody said something on
And he
Twitter.
still turned it
Somebody said
down.
something on Twitter. Somebody said we couldn't match Stoke's valuation. I think it was more that we could have matched them. Because we've got. I'm not being disrespectful. Stoke. I think it was the case of Speakman and KLD, and Hart didn't want to match what they were valuing him.
I guess yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the thing I will defend a lot about Speakman and Harvey, and again, despite these last couple of results, that shouldn't change.
Yeah.
Is they don't want to go out and spunk loads and loads of money, which we have done before. But at the same time,
But
at the same time, there needs to be a balance in when splash it.
Yeah.
I still believe Alex Neil could have stayed, but that's just my opinion. If you want to watch why anyone,
If you
want to watch my
stayed.
issue with Alex Neil, go and watch Jam Sali's back preview and watch the first 4 minutes.
He should have
That's
stayed, but it is what it is, Michael.
It's happened now, and he's like you. I mean, I know there'll be Stoke fans watching this because they'll be laughing every second of it, and rightly so. Especially after a 5-1 win. But for me, I'm with you. You've said in a few interviews that I didn't think Stoke were that good. I think we were just shocking.
We're not, and that's not me being bitter or this, that, and the other. I think it's just a case of we were that bad. We're the masters of our own downfall. Every time they attacked, we made a mistake. The referee minding one of the goals could have.
It was the first one.
Was it the first one? Was it when he stopped and we should have gotten the ball back? Is that right?
Oh, sorry, I don't know. I think the first one was that Sarkic, their keeper in the first half. I think Paul said apparently they changed keeper at half time. I don't know. I don't really care. But
he didn't have that day.
He had the ball,
Yeah.
and it was meant to be like a free kick, and then he threw the ball
Yeah.
towards the right hand side. Now, I'm usually someone, and I stand by this. We should be allowed to criticise referees.
Oh, aye,
However,
of course.
The referee is not for result. Not the
Yeah.
in the second half.
He was poor. The referee was poor.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Today is on the players.
Oh,
and
100%.
100% on the players in Mowbray. The players are young. I think David made a point that yes, they're young, and I agree that I think there are going to be bad days at the office. But I disagree when he said that this was coming because for me, we've been in every game, even when we haven't been great. We haven't. That for me, that's not. He's not saying it is an excuse, obviously, but for me, that's not an excuse because we lost because we let in 5 silly goals. Every single one of them was avoidable.
It was in my eyes. It was all the 5 goals we could have prevented. It was just basic standard mistakes from the players.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
The
exactly.
midfield was midfield.
And to be fair to the players, they've set them standards themselves this season, and up till recently,
Just seems to
I feel like they've been giving everything in every game. I can not excuse, but I can let's like the Rotherham and Coventry was because that was on the back of a game every few days. Today, I think we lost it because in the second half there was a distinct lack of fight there.
Aye, well, that's one of the interviews. I thought there was no fight there. I think it was that. That's the one thing. The one thing that really upset me was the way we just folded and crumbled and didn't show any fight. And that's the one thing you want. Is that's all we ask the season ticket holders is the players to show some fight.
Yeah, and to be fair, those are saying we need more experience. Yeah, I think that you've
Massively.
Got a point.
Our average age is 22, 23.
Like
I think.
But if you look in that team who started, Danny Bart's experienced, Alex Pritchard's experienced.
And that's it, really, is it? I mean,
Patrick Roberts, by definition, because he's had loads of spells in the Championship, regardless of how he's done. Jack Clark the same, but again, like Jack Clark's still young. So yeah, I think we missed Corey Evans today, mind.
Massively.
Yeah.
You missed that in that middle
one
one.
thing I will give Mowbray is because I've seen people saying Tony Mowbray out, which is their prerogative. I don't personally think that way.
Yeah.
What I will say is, Tony, this is going to sound quite harsh here. For me, if this continues on, we've been warned by Blackburn fans apparently that this is a thing where you get to a point where you're all but safe and then you get a bit of a dip. Now, if that happens, this is going to sound very harsh. I would change at the end of the season only because.
Well, I'm with you there.
Next season for me.
Yeah.
We have to be aiming for the top six.
Trying to challenge for the top six.
We've got to be aiming to challenge for the top six, and we can't afford a run like that if we're wanting to go for the top six. This season, you can get away with it, and I don't think it's excusable, but still.
But this is what I'm saying about just quickly go to more. Like the players, like they can say to the players, go out and play football, go out and play your football. Yeah. But when you've got a good tactical manager, like when Alex Neil can be, Michael, he's a good tactical manager. This is what I'm saying, and he's probably outwitted him a little bit this afternoon. I think this is when.
I do think if we give a decent account of ourselves, we definitely don't get battered 5-1.
Aye, we didn't turn up, but I think as well, Alex Neil has them plays better than he probably might not mean better than Mowbray.
I'm trying to think who started today that he didn't know Ahmad.
Aye.
Ahmad's the only one.
He come later than
Elise, I suppose, because he only played him for one game, and that was Jeff Wedd.
Yeah.
Trey Hume barely played him. But then again, he's worked with them, hasn't he? So,
that's what I'm saying. Seen him on the training pitch, man. He's seen him on
the one thing I will give Tony Mowbray as a criticism, and again, everyone knows by me, I hate to be a revisionist, but the one thing I said to Paul in the pub before the game, Luke O'Nien not starting for me was a bit of a.
Where would you have played him?
Midfield.
Midfield next to Dan Neil.
Midfield next to Dan Neil or whoever. O'Nien and one of the others, because the game was Stoke. The game played perfectly for Alex Neil and for Stoke because it just get into a battle of physicality, and I think O'Nien. Okay, sometimes he can be a bit rash, but he lets people know he's there. And I think our midfield was far too passive. And I think, what was the system, by the way?
Well, I think it was just the same 4-2-3, wasn't it? That's where it looked. But then
because that to me looked like Pritchard then was deeper with Neil.
Well, he was holding. He was set in midfield with Dan Neil. Yeah. And he doesn't play. He's attacking midfield. Pritchard. That's another thing. So players in the position where they play, where the post was supposed to play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so the system was a bit interesting. Look, don't get me wrong. Up to recently, I think Mowbray has had his hands tied on a lot of things, and this is where criticism of Speakman and Harvey is fair, because not getting another forward in January was poor, was very criminal. Arguably not replacing Evans.
Why do you think he took Galdart off it all? I know people say he wasn't in the game, but he wasn't getting nothing though. So why do you take your own striker off? Why do you do that? Unless it was an injury.
I honestly don't know.
Because
it might be that
2 subs at near half time.
What was the score when he came off? 2-0 or 3-0 at that point?
No, it was. What was the score at half time?
1-0.
1-0. So he made 2 subs after. He took Elise off for O'Nien. O'Nien went left back.
Yes, you're right. He did. It's. I don't know. I can't.
And he took Galdart off for.
Well, if he did have enough, he knows something then that we clearly don't, I suppose. But yeah, I just felt like, to an extent, I just felt like the team was just very. It was a very small team that played in this game, and I think. But I mean, at the same time, though, people were saying that Alex Neil had his Stoke players right up for it. Were we not up for it? But second half, you can't tell me that they were up for that. Not to the standards that they've set themselves. First half, I thought we did puffed and tried, but we just didn't. But again,
it was the basic stuff. Just passing.
You're right. Yes,
sloppy passing, man.
We didn't defend as a unit. We gave away too many sloppy balls, and again, this is why I'm saying I didn't think Stoke were particularly great, but. Again, it's not their problem, and their fans will enjoy it. They and they have every right to. They've won 5-1 away from home, but this was a game I so wanted to win. Really badly.
I think every Sunderland fan did, and to get beat the way we did, it's
criminal. But at the same time, this could be
bit the pill to swallow that one.
Maybe it could be a lesson for these younger players. Like how do you bounce?
Well, I hope because it's only going to go on 2 ways. The players are going to react and think, look at that, we can't let this happen again, or we're going to go. I mean, because the last few games we've lost. last couple, I think our runs.
Lost 3 in a row without winning 4.
As I'm saying, it looks to me like a little bit confidence is lacking, and we're just the heads are gone down when we're conceding the goal, and do you know what I mean? It's a bit worrying. We've got Norwich and we've got Sheffield United coming up.
But
and
these games, if we're not on it defensively, then we're going to get ripped.
That's what I mean.
Because Norwich and Sheffield United are miles better than Stoke, and I think it's one of those where, again, it comes back to my point of why I say clean sheets are important, because you can't
massively.
And again, you can say we have no focal point up front. You can say we're playing everything in front of Stoke, which we were. But why does that excuse switching off at the back and letting someone get a free run in the box? And
we don't look like keeping a clean sheet at the minute at present.
No,
we just look like conceding.
And that's the thing. Like, that's something that's got to change, because even if you don't have the focal point, which again is a fair point, you know, if you're going to keep conceding goals, you give yourself no chance of winning any game.
No.
But yeah, I mean, as far as I mean, I know there's another point you've gone.
I want to ask Dave over the last year. At the end of the game, in the changing rooms, what would you say to the players, Michael?
Don't even want to know what I would have said.
No, just speak what you.
Initially, I would have said, "You've disgraced yourselves today, getting beat by concede 5 goals at home against a team that, to be honest, I don't think is better than us. If I'm honest,
I don't rate them one bit.
But I think if you look at it right, I think Dave's point was actually bang on, because he said that in the heat of them, we say, go home, rest on it, think about what's happened, and then we'll address it and get everything out of the system in the next couple of days.
Yeah, talk about it on Monday or something.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've got
keep our social media as well. I think the players should.
I need to start doing that. To be fair, because a lot of
you get involved in too many arguments. Ads. I didn't even bother.
Twats on social media, really is.
Michael,
if you disagree with someone, you're
I know. But Michael, I always say it to you. I try. Obviously, I can't tell you what to do. I always say, Michael,
I know it's my fault. I need to start doing it.
Just ignore people.
People could
and
just
never
be
argue.
But you know, point is, well, everyone goes on about #be kind, but that always goes out the window when a result happens.
I know. When they come and say, Michael Bowers, you know nothing, and it's gonna get you back up in it. It's gonna get you back up.
It is. Like, you know, just don't be a twat about it. Simple as that. But no.
I love your YouTube channel. Fight to catch, heading back to
Belfast.
All right, Belfast, all right. Safe journeys, lads.
Safe trip back.
Good luck.
Thanks very much, mate. Take care. Thank you.
Take care, buddy. All right, take care.
Yeah, but from how we bounce back from this is going to be interesting.
That's going to be the one, isn't it? Yeah.
Norwich, it's not an easy game.
No.
And Sheffield
next Sunday on Sky.
Next Sunday, Sky Sports, 12 o'clock.
Good.
Watch us get taken up the backside. As we know, we're for top 6. I know there's one of the interviews that said they felt the top 6 is still on. I love his optimism. But I've said all along, and I've said this continuously to you, that I never thought top 6 was going to happen anyway.
I know. I was getting me hopes, and then this last 3 or 4 games, I'm gone.
One person I will call out, Chris Reeve from Talk Norwich City. If you're watching this, thanks, you dickhead. You got me hopes up. I said we wouldn't make the top 6. What we can't do is let this continue into another really bad spiral.
This is
what we
the worry.
deserve to see in the next couple of games is some genuine fights.
Commitment.
I don't care what the age is. That's a bare minimum. You've got to be expecting the fighting game. And recently, this season, up till recently, they have been showing that. I've got to be fair to the players here. They have been showing that. But I don't know. I mean, it's just frustrating. It's just the one game I really didn't want to.
I know, and we haven't just lost it. We've getting absolutely annihilated.
You know what else we want to make it feel worse? Dwight Gale scored twice. Do you know what? I usually hate it when players do that and against us, but I can get Dwight Gale doing it. Actually, Newcastle thing. He was getting booed all game, so I don't have any complaints with that.
I wonder if he was happy last Sunday, Dwight Gale. Do you think?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's
the one bit of relief that they did. I know that.
I would have been.
Let's remember though, they had parties apparently when City beat us in 2014.
Of course.
So they can't.
But that was the Mickey Mouse Cup though back then. But then when they went down to Trafalgar, they took over London like London's never seen this before. Hang about. How many times have we been down Trafalgar Square? I know it's not been for a cup to win, but
local media got Trafalgar takeover, and you guys like, hang on, are you ignoring the fact we've been to Wembley?
But I'm seeing the media ignore it when you know.
Yeah, granted in tin pot games, to be fair, but still.
Michael, did you know this as well? I was quickly say this stat before we go, right? The population of Sunderland and Newcastle. Did you know the population of Sunderland and Newcastle?
I've heard Sunderland's is bigger apparently.
The area is bigger. The population, how many people live in Sunderland? I want to tell you, as of 2023, 344,000 live in Sunderland, yeah. In Newcastle,
800 or something?
820,000. That's 500,000 more people live in Newcastle. So when the Geordies say we get 52,000 seaters thingies every week, that's exactly why, mate. And that's why you've got 10,000 waiting as well, because you've got nearly 1 million people living in your city. There you go. That's not me being bitter. But any Geordies do say, well, why can you not fill your stadium? And why do we fill ours? Because you've got nearly 500,000 more people living in your city, lads. So there you go.
Who gave you a big fishing rod earlier?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it just annoys me. But
One thing I will
and that's
say,
not including the areas around Newcastle
okay,
as well.
Well, if they argue, why don't you get 50,000 fans? Go and look what we put up with the last 6 years.
No. I'll tell you something now.
If they had it to the same level we would.
If they had to go through what we've been through, there wouldn't be, you know what I mean? There wouldn't be there.
Give us a taste of what they're going to try and have, and we would fill that out easily.
Yeah.
A lot of fans have just been disillusioned. But as for like I said, going back to the current.
Hi, sorry now.
No, it's cheer me up, that to be fair. But Paul's laughing his head off in the background. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, Alex Neil's got his big win, big day out. I still hate him. I'm not gonna. I still think he had a lack of class, you know. And fair enough. I've never been more relieved for a game to end. I've never been more relieved for a game to finish. But it just makes you think. Like I said before, with Tony Mowbray, if this continues into the next 11, 12 games, however many we've got left, then I'll make a change again in the season.
Yeah.
Only because next season the standards have got.
As I'm saying, next season the expectations.
I would say if he went at the end of the season, which I don't think he will, to be fair, but if he went at the end of the season, I'd say you've done your bit. Thanks very much.
I think it's going to show you how much ambition. I think as well. To be fair, I think if we want to really get into the top six, I just even though I think he's done great and I like him, he's a nice bloke, I just didn't think he's that man. And I think maybe he's a good, you know, if there's a manager out there, when, you know.
No, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd like to think there's someone. I mean, Sunderland still, whatever wages you're getting paid or anything, if Alex Neil claims it was about money, but you know, whatever it is, Sunderland's still should be
massive club, still a massive club.
Don't say that though. People get offended when you talk about crowd. Yeah. No, I mean, what did you think? I know you mentioned in other interviews about people throwing coins and was it? To be fair, though, apparently, one of the mates next to me said there was a woman, or it might be someone, trying to throw a missile at Alex Neil or something. I don't know if it was that.
There was two instances. I'm sure there was Stoke fans who threw things down when they scored. I think, or when Musk got when it was that 3-1. I think.
Well, we're getting dicked up the back.
But then there was people throwing things at Alex Neil. So there was a couple of incidents. That's why the announcement was made.
I detest Alex Neil with every fibre of my being. However, I don't condone
violence.
No. That's not.
They shouldn't.
That's not on.
No, they shouldn't do that.
You know, he is still a human being and got a family and everything and got kids. Sound like Chris Coleman there. Don't know where that's come from. And obviously, look, the Stoke fans, look, that's just going to be one or two idiots ruining it for the majority, because majority of fans, to be fair, I mean, Stoke obviously had 5 goals to cheer, but they were quite loud, to be fair.
Michael, can you remember where you said Sunderland would finish this season, at the start of the season?
I can actually,
yeah.
yes. I said 14th.
14th, I think, yeah, you could be, actually, the way things is going, it could look like we could be running about that.
Well, the good thing is, we only need another couple of wins to make sure we don't go down. It's amazing how the conversation's changed. But I've said,
the tide can change.
Someone said to me that if we didn't win this game, that playoffs, the realistic chance of playoffs is gone. I agree with that. For me, playoffs was never on, but like I think.
You just worry a little bit because I think the crowds might dip a little bit as well, and that people might start getting a bit agitated. And
depends how we react, doesn't it, to be fair. I mean, Sheffield United's our next home game, which is midweek, and midweek crowds tend to be a bit lower. Sorry?
Sky Sports.
As well.
On Sky Sports.
Norwich on Sky. Yeah. Luton, same again. So it's one of those where if this is going to be a trend and continues a bit, then maybe we need the season to finish and set ourselves for next season.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this then. So would you? This is going to sound very harsh. Would you change head coach at the end of the season?
Absolutely. And look at it's not me being, you know, just a panic moments of the game today and this, you know. I think Tony Mowbray's done really well.
He's had a lot to contend with.
He's done really well. And I think he's exceeded expectations. To be fair, I thought we were going to be in a relegation battle. But if we want to kick on and try and get up there in the top 6, I really believe that we should go for somebody else.
Maybe what we should do is give Tony Mowbray the first half of next season, and then right before the bad dip happens, change it and then get someone else in.
But I honestly believe that it'd be here next season, and I'm not going to get on the bloke's case. There's a lot of fans who've got a Tony Mowbray song and this, that, and the other, and let them sing it and this, that, and the other. Let's hope they're singing it. Let's hope they're singing it in the air in a few weeks' time. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, but no, either way, we've just got to wait and see. Yeah. Get through the rest of the season, and just hopefully we bounce back from this.
Michael Bowers, always a pleasure. Go on to subscribe to Michael Bowers' channel. Sunderland 1, Stoke City 5. Dave, Right, we'll start with that performance.
Good question. Where's the start? Where's the finish? Where's the middle bit?
Jesus.
It was awful. But I think in a way, and I shouldn't really say this because I've been saying positive things all the time when I've spoken and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel it's possibly been coming in a way because we've given a lot of chances away and people haven't taken advantage.
And
they scored a goal every time they got the ball.
Yeah, they just punish us, doesn't it, every time, yeah.
Having said that, I don't think they're a good side. And that's not,
No,
that's not being horrible. I don't think that...
I firmly believe that as well. I do. And that's not me being bitter or... No, I'm with you there. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah.
We are our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
Because we gave the ball away, we didn't play where we should, we didn't play the channels, we don't look to play the strengths. Our weaknesses all showed up today.
Yeah.
It's just, you said before, bad day at the office. That's
pretty much what it is. But we've had a few of them lately though, Dave.
Yeah,
We're on a bit of a bad run, I think, what's coming here.
Doesn't want to turn into a sort of pandemic.
I know, I would start losing.
Because
yeah.
we're safe enough.
Oh yeah. I'll just put a sour note on what we've done good this season, won't it? But I feel that's where I've got a feeling that's where it's gonna pan out, you know.
So, because without trying to be too negative, I think it is because I'll go back. Anybody who's seen what I've said previously on other chats with yourself.
Yeah, videos. Yeah.
It's a case of we are young,
Yeah.
we're learning, and we'll have to learn quickly.
Yeah,
Because
that was a bruising defeat, wasn't it, for these kids? It's going to be
we're
a
making
big...
mistakes in certain areas that because we're lax, because we're confident, perhaps, because we feel that we're going to knock the ball about, but then some big bloke comes and takes it off.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think physical?
Sometimes.
Do you think some of the kids are a little bit intimidated by the physicality of the other sides?
I think quite the reverse, Sean.
Yeah.
I think they think, oh well, I've got all this ability, and then oh, hang on, I haven't got the ball anymore. They've got ability. Yes, they've got ability, but somebody needs to sit them down in there and say, look, when you're in a scrape, whack it.
Yeah.
If people don't like that, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'd rather that than we lost the ball and they're going through and score a goal.
Do you think we're missing keep? I mean, look at Dave. When now we've got a lot of injuries, and that's going to. It happens to all teams. I'm not, getting the violin out and this, that, and the other, and crime. But look at. I think missing Corey Evans just as well. He's just his experience. Yeah.
Nobody's calming it down. There's no calming influence, and it's like you get the ball and you play it forward, and everybody chases around after it. It's not like sheep, but you know what I'm getting.
Yeah, a bit like flies around crap in a sense. Yeah.
And we have good enough players, but we're very young and we're learning.
Yeah.
And that's not the first time I've said that by any means.
Yeah.
So, in saying that though, it's a confidence issue now. Will that knock this
Well, it is, isn't it?
the steam out of them?
Yeah. I mentioned this in prior interviews and said it's a bit worrying because this defeat it's going to be. This is when you're going to see Tony Mowbray. Look, I wasn't a fan of his when he first came. I think he's done really good. To be fair, I didn't expect him to do as well as what he's done. But now with 11 games to go, Michael, is it 11 or 12? Well, now you're going to see because I've got a feeling we're starting to go on a bad run now.
Is it not just the case as well though? We're saying Tony Mowbray, but Tony Mowbray is working with the tools he's been given.
Yeah.
And those tools he's been given are boys.
Aye. He hasn't really got a transfer window when he has, but
he wanted to have experienced players in. You know that. You know how frustrating he is. He says it nicely in interviews and everything.
Nothing to say though, is it? It's Speakman and Carvey, isn't it? That's there, see.
And they're not players that he said, oh, I want that one.
Yeah.
That one. It's not like
He
the old
doesn't
days.
have the final say, does he?
Somebody goes and gets them and says,
Brian Clough and Peter Taylor, they would just drive down and get them.
They wouldn't have been in football. They would have been. They wouldn't have played right. But that's the way it is now.
Yeah.
And we'll have to accept that. But it's a tough day. It's a tough one to take, especially with it being Alex Neil. But
it is. That's the painful one for me. I felt sick when the 4th and 5th one. I literally felt sick. I've never felt that down in a game for a long time. But it's because of Alex Neil, and I loved him when he was there. But when he left, I hated.
He got his team together today and he said, right.
But he knows them players better than anybody, doesn't he?
He knows a lot of them. He doesn't know them all. He doesn't know Ahmad and all of these guys. But what he does is he'll go out and he'll say, right, all you need to do, get tight to them, get close, and every time they turn.
Well, that's it.
And that's what they did. Stop them. Ahmad, what's he good at? Getting the ball, wriggling away. Stop that.
Why was Pritchard playing in the Misha and the Corey Evans role when he's attacking midfielder?
I don't know, but
Do you know what I mean? Pritchard wants to be in and around the striker, making things happen, doesn't he?
But the only thing I would say against Mowbray today is why play Misha at all? He's light. He brought him on. We were getting bullied, so he brought somebody smarter on. You know,
I don't think he's lacking options off the bench, isn't he? But then I can't pronounce his name. The Ekwa, the new guy. I mean, the Hadji. Yeah, the Hadji.
What's happening? They're big lads.
Yeah,
Physicality. You know. I don't know, because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But
what would you be saying to them players, Dave, now at full time?
At full time.
Sorry, like in the game, in the changing room, what would you be saying to them players? What would you be trying to?
Coach.
Yeah.
That team,
if you're Tony Mowbray,
I would tell them to get ready and go home. I would, and I would say we'll talk about this either tomorrow or Monday, because in the heat of the moment,
you can say the wrong things at the wrong times.
Things can happen from all angles.
That's a very sensible thing, that isn't it? That's very.
Monday,
yeah.
We'll watch it again, and we'll say where did we go wrong.
You know, my mum watches every week, and she always loves when your thing. She always says, Dave. He always speaks sense. It's like as Michael, the wise words, obviously.
Your question was, what would you say in the dressing room now? And I think I would say, you know, it's pointless get overreacting.
Saying now, would just be kicking. I'll be kicking off.
Oh, people cups on.
I'll be kicking off. I'll be saying that, you know. But that's why. Yeah.
It's not a lack of passion. He's got more passion.
I know.
But it's a case of when I've been managing teams, I've had. Gotten into trouble for passion many times.
Yeah.
But with those boys, I don't think giving them a good.
I know, but then that's the reality of. That's why Alex Ferguson was a good manager, because he knew when to get the hair dry and knew when to kick off for the players, but he also knew when to, you know, put his arm around them as well.
That's what you've got to do. You've got to say to them, look.
It's not acceptable.
It's gone. It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
It's gone
There's
now.
nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah.
So let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
We've got 4 really tough ones.
Coming up.
You know, Norwich, Sheffield United, the Luton, and then Burnley.
Yeah.
You know, we get through that.
I'm really worried. I'm looking at them fixtures as well. Oh God. But it is what it is, Dave.
It is what it is.
We've just got to enjoy our night, I suppose. Have a couple of drinks, couple of beers, Dave.
No, I'm not a man. I can't now.
No.
I can't now.
No.
But no, we'll see what happens.
But we're something to die, Dave. We're something to die.
Of course we are.
We'll be back next season.
Yeah. Oh. Back next week.
Even with we fans still throwing the missiles down as well.
And then we started probably.
Yeah, throwing things at Alex Neil. That's unacceptable. Everything, you know, things like that.
No.
But Dave, bad day at the office.
Bad day at the office.
We'll get it right, hopefully. Cheers for your time, Dave. Always a pleasure, pal. All right. Always a pleasure, mate. Cheers, pal.